Wow. So you think you can just click play on this podcast? And you think you can listen to me talk to you and share my thoughts with you? You just think you can do that? Well, you can. Evidently, you're doing it right now. There's no turning back at this point. I've encoded a special hack into this episode that at this point in your device, computer, television, what have you, is now completely locked. This episode is brought to you by Fashion Bug. Fashion Bug is returning in digital form. Remember Fashion Bug? It was that store that your sister would go to in, like, I don't know, the year 1999. And she'd buy, like, stupid, like, sparkly jeans or something. You know, that kind of stupid shit. Well, that's online now. Go to www.fashionbug.com. Don't worry about the fact that the website's not set up yet. Don't worry about the fact that the current owners of that URL are using it to post some of the most disturbing images you've ever seen in your life. So disturbing, in fact, that I question why they told people to go to fashionbug.com if the site's not finished yet. I don't know. Alright, you know what? There's no reason I can't just put into my browser right now fashionbug.com. It can't. How bad can it be? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, I just closed the tab. And I'm deleting my history because what they were doing to those bugs, putting them in sparkly jeans and like hats and stuff, putting cool trendy belts on them. They're too small for clothes. Oh my god. Is this really just for the perverse pleasure of somebody who wants these bugs, you know, fashioned? They're having fashion done to them against their will. I mean, it's bad enough that humans are we're kind of coerced to dress in particular ways. You know, we're just following cues from the culture that we live in and our peers. Like, we go outside, we're like, everybody's wearing pants, I guess I have to put pants on. I had this experience late in life. I never wore pants or anything. I didn't know how to, nobody showed me. That was a dark time in my life. But now I put my pants on just like everybody else. Both legs at the same time. I mean, exactly the same time, with precision that could land a spacecraft on an asteroid. There are lasers involved. As soon as I wake up in my big tall bed, I drop from an incredibly tall height. My pants are suspended in a complex rope and pulley system. The setup I have, it's cost me about $30,000 to, you know, for it to be really fluid. I gotta make up for all that time I spent without pants. Gotta get good at pants. Pants is a skill, you know? But for some people, pants is a gift. It's a talent. It's what they were born to do. Anyway, sorry, can I help you? If you're hearing this right now, is there something you need from me? Because I'm just talking to myself. Oh wait, not for long. Phone line's already lighting up. Just coming up is the Fashion Bug. Hello, you've reached the Purgatory Podcast. What can I do for you? Are you really the Fashion Bug? Are you wearing pants right now?
Hello. I am the Fashion Bug, communicating through a translation device so that I may be understood to you.
It's great to meet you. You know, you've done a lot for,
Listen to me. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, you're a talking fucking bug. Of course I'm listening to you.
I finally have successfully produced offspring, in the form of eggs. I found another bug and I got on the bug, and did what bugs do.
No, I understand. I mean, now I do. I mean, I wasn't sure if it was asexual or what kind of bug you actually are.
I am the Fashion Bug.
Right, well that's not a kind of bug. What phylum is that?
Insect.
Wrong. Bzz. Incorrect.
Now you mock me and my kind.
No, that's not what I was doing. You know I wasn't doing that.
You disrespect that which you do not understand.
Look, you wanted to tell me something about laying eggs. Can we just get to the point?
I've laid millions of eggs across the continental United States. Soon they will hatch. And soon there will be an army of fashion bugs to rebuild the Fashion Bug Empire.
Well, I mean, I guess that's a somewhat dire warning, but in terms of the crises we're facing, I think this one's just going to get kind of lost in the noise. There's kind of a lot going on. I don't think really a bunch of more outlet stores are going to really disrupt too much.
Well, I should inform you that fashion bugs feed on human blood.
Okay. I knew there was going to be a catch.
Sorry.
Okay, well, is there anything we can do about the blood-sucking bugs?
Yes. Remove all of your blood from your body.
Well, that seems like the outcome that I'm actually trying to avoid.
It is the only means of protection.
I hope that you really are the fashion bug, because I don't want to get sued for slander by fashion bug.
I am the fashion bug.
Fine. You didn't answer my initial question, though. Are you wearing pants?
No, if you must know. I am wearing a beautiful bikini.
Fine. Yeah, I accept that. But I gotta hang up now.
Remember what I told you. You must put your blood in a protected container until all of the fashion bugs die.
The fashion bugs are gonna die?
Our average lifespan is approximately 7 hours.
Oh. Well, you know, you gotta, organize information better if you're communicating a dire warning.
I'm sorry about the oversight. I literally have a fucking bug brain.
But how long have you been alive?
Well, I take care of myself. I eat right. And I exercise.
What's a bug exercise look like?
I'm doing it right now. Can you hear it?
It just sounds like indiscriminate buzzing.
I'm putting both wings into this. I'm working on my spring carapace.
By the way, where'd you buy that bikini?
Lululemon.
I fucking knew it. I'm gonna hang up on you. Be loyal to something, believe in something. If you're the fashion bug, wear fashion bug clothes. Don't go on Lululemon. Don't go on Amazon. Go to fashionbugstore.com. This just turned into a real ad. Go to fashionbugstore.com. You can buy clothes. I don't think the fashion bug is gonna call again. If they do, I have this bug spray right here next to me, and I'll just spray it into the phone. I don't know how reality works anymore, so maybe that would work. If a fucking bug can call me, then, where does it end? Where does the Overton window finally close on the shit that can happen to me on this podcast? I can't believe this is my life. I was an up-and-comer. I was on the podcast track. I interned for Alex Jones, and I would wring out his sweat towels, and that's all I did. 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I got really far, Eventually, I was going to do Rogan, and then I tore my Achilles heel, and that just killed all my dreams. And a lot of people were saying, you just tore your Achilles heel, you can still go on Rogan, you're not a football player. And I said, no, I still can't do it. Now I'm reduced to this. From such great heights have I fallen. Almost as high as the great heights, I fall down every morning to put my pants on. I want to pivot to something less controversial. Time check. Slurp Von Lipstick, who's a non-controversial figure. We all agree he's a nuisance at best. At worst, he's actively harmful. This man should be, sequestered underground, like the fallen angels that were buried under the Euphrates by God and put in chains. I'd rather just have a fallen angel on the podcast than have to hear time check. Hold on a second. I'm getting a call. Okay, this call is not from the fashion bug. This is from, I don't know how to pronounce this, but there's a lot of consonants, a lot of vowels. Hello, who is this? Sorry, can you repeat that? What do I say here?
My apologies. I thought I had activated the translator device. I am of course one of the 4 fallen angels chained beneath the Euphrates. Hear the chains, which shall soon be loosed so that I may be set free upon the earth.
That sucks. Wait, but I want to go back to the first part of what you said. You said, I am, of course, one of the fallen angels. Why would you assume it's obvious to me?
It is you who summoned me.
This is the Purgatory Podcast. We don't deal with heaven, we don't deal with hell. We're neutral on the whole thing. They're both great, whatever you want to do. So I gotta get like a normal angel to call in to, for equal time. Ever heard of it?
Time is what you speak of. You make me laugh. I have lain in this earth prison for millennia. Do not speak to me of time.
Sorry, it's so condescending to say like, oh, of course, of course. I'm like, well, what do you mean, of course? I can't read your mind.
Okay. Sorry.
Can you put a different angel on?
What?
Well, there's 4 of you. Put a different one on. You suck. It's too much of the fallen angel side, you know what I'm saying? I can't make the case for not setting the wheels in motion for the events of Revelation to occur upon Earth.
Apocalypse is good. In the ancient Greek, it simply refers to... Actually, I don't know what it means.
I'm kind of enjoying our back and forth more than my relationship with Slurp-on Lipstick, you know what I mean? It's a low bar, because it's a guy who reads the time. You're gonna blow one of the trumpets, I think.
Yeah, I've been practicing.
That's good. It's good to, build up a skill while you're in jail. Alright, well, thank you so much for your time. I don't agree with you, I gotta say. Kinda anti your agenda, but anytime I can get a dissenting voice on it, it keeps me sharp, keeps me objective.
Great. And hey, if you want to get the ball rolling on this end of the world thing, tell all your friends how great implantable technology is.
Oh, 'cause Mark of the Beast, is that the thing?
You didn't hear it from me.
That's sneaky. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. You almost got me. Alright, thanks, man. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, give it up. It's Slurp-on Lipstick. This is Time Check. Thank you so much. I'm Slurp-on Lipstick. I don't know why he said, this is Time Check. That's not true. The applause part isn't part of Time Check. The applause belongs to the Purgatory Podcast. Everything after the applause, that's part of Time Check. It's a completely separate entity. The Purgatory Podcast and Time Check, I regret to inform you, are going our separate ways. And from this point forward, Time Check will still be on the Purgatory Podcast, and it'll be exactly the same as it's always been. But we're legally separate entities, so we have no affiliation to each other whatsoever, other than the fact that we're on the same podcast. Does that make sense? I had our attorneys put up a statement, but they were like, what are you talking about? But the thing is, the values of Time Check and the values of the Purgatory Podcast fundamentally incompatible with each other. The rest of the Purgatory Podcast, it confuses you. You listen to it, you think, I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about. But Time Check offers you stability. It says, don't worry. Right now, it's 11:34 p.m. Think about if you never knew what time it was. Think about if you slept through everything. You missed all of your obligations. You were always late. And you just did whatever you wanted to do. Imagine that. The devil has had quite a bit of advocacy so far on this episode. But I'm going to advocate for him again. Actually, that makes sense. Why should we be shackled by the chains of time and the clock? It uses numbers against us. Numbers are supposed to be used to express ourselves. You ever want to just say 2 or 8? The numbers are just controlling us. It doesn't matter when you go to the dentist's office, because guess what? They're always going to make you wait, no matter what time you show up. I'm perfectly on time. I've fine-tuned it so I'm there right on time, and sure enough, what happens? They're like, have a seat. Here's a form where you tell us whether you've had any river diseases, because river diseases are all the rage now. And I say, no, I haven't had any river diseases. And they're like, thanks. I'm like, can I go get my teeth looked at now? And they're like, yeah, if you want to wait 15 minutes. It's like, well, the appointment was for 10 a.m. It is 10:05. And no appointment is happening. So, I don't know. This is why I'm trying to get my idea off the ground of retractable human teeth. They don't need to be out and about all the time. Let them have a night in. The problem with teeth is they're being exposed to all kinds of things, and that's why they're decaying. But if they go back up in the gums, it's like a lazy Sunday, and you're just like, I don't feel like pushing my teeth out today. I'm gonna have oatmeal and smoothies. This life is possible. Introducing tooth sheath. Man, that's hard to say. It's called tooth sheath. And it's a new thing I got going on the side. Time Check is great. It's bringing in muchos cash. But it's not enough for me. I need to do more. I need to express myself. Even shouting numbers isn't enough anymore. By the way, 2! If you want to learn about the procedure, the requirements, the commitments that you'll have to make, and the changes that this will introduce into your life, good and bad, then you can go to toothsheath.com at AOL.com. I don't know how it got all fucked up like that. The thing is, at this point, we don't have that much money, so we're gotta take your teeth out by just putting a string and a rock, and then the rest of it is kind of... I mean, I don't think I should talk about it publicly, but it'll be fine. Do you know who's backing this? Peter Thiel and Stephen Wonderton. Stephen Wonderton you probably haven't heard of. He's just another rich guy, so, there's a lot of them you haven't heard of. I could make them up, and they're probably real. Prick Wiggleton, let's say he has $800 million because he got in early on Nabisco. And now there are 3 members in the U.S. House of Representatives that are completely under his control. It's just gotten out of hand. But I'm not here to offer that kind of commentary. I'm here to leave, because this is the end of Time Check. Every good thing has to come to an end. So it goes without saying that this podcast will go on until the heat death of the universe, with the exception, of course, of Time Check. Thank you so much. I've been Slurp on Lipstick. Have a wonderful week. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Another time check from the entity known as Slurp Von Lipstick. Time check is over. You can all relax. The tension in your shoulders, if you're feeling that, that's time check. The body keeps the score. Okay, so I don't have anything planned for the rest of the podcast, so that's going to be really good for you. You're going to benefit from that. Okay, I just have to close my eyes and I'll envision the next segment. It will just appear in my mind. I want you to close your eyes along with me, and I want you to envision what the next segment of the podcast will be. I think everybody should have a podcast. Except for Joe Rogan. Just to restore the balance, because Rogan has too much of a podcast. It's too much podcast. I was watching the Trump episode. I guess this is one of the upsides to where we are right now, but like a 3-hour interview with the president of the United States is kind of a big deal. I mean, he wasn't president yet. He hadn't won the election. But you really get a pretty good idea of a person after like 3 hours. And Trump is just like consistently Trump the entire time. It's like a machine. It's like a program. And now his brain is like turning into like a stone. So the personality he created as a public image is now, his identity is totally attached to it. He's a character who thinks he's in control of everything. But the delusion was like so powerful that it spilled out of him and it became a part of reality. It became actually factually true. He is in charge of everything. And yes, I said actually factually. Is it a crime to rhyme? Then charge me on 2 counts. So I think, it might be beneficial to kind of study that personality type. Because pointed in the right direction, that kind of ambition can solve all of the world's problems. But somehow it's always pointed in the opposite direction, and it seems to continuously kind of win out. Not to reduce everything to like a binary battle between good and evil, but also it's kind of what's happening. I mean, there has to be a morally correct side. If there's not, then that means everything I've read on Twitter is a lie, and I refuse to believe that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think of Rogan as being like rice. He's not really doing anything on his own, but he'll deliver the flavor of whatever you put in with him in that dish. He's like, fascism? Let me give it a little texture for you. How's that taste? It's like you'll listen to one episode where he's interviewing Musk and he says, Social Security is the greatest Ponzi scheme of all time. And Rogan's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And then the next week he'll have like a doctor from some university you've never heard of who thinks erosion is a hoax. It's just like, The Rock was always like that. It started that way. And Rogan's just nodding along. He's like, yeah, come to think of it, I've never seen a rock change in my life. I don't know. I kind of admire him. I wish I could be that open to everything. I don't want to be like Rice, though. I think I'd rather be, I want to be Beans. I didn't think about where I was going with that. But when it comes to Beans versus Rice, I'm always going to go Beans. But I mean, rice and beans is great. Living in harmony. Rice and beans in one dish. Next stop, world peace. The Zelensky thing, very disturbing. Just a really poorly acted out. It played out like a Nathan For You episode, which I'm still leaving open that possibility that that's what this all is. But like, it's just so incredibly obvious they were never gonna sign the deal. They were obviously planning on blowing it up because it came up so inorganically if you actually listen to the conversation. Why is stating objectively true facts about what Putin has done such a sensitive spot for this administration? But you don't see Netanyahu being dragged out there to be humiliated. And then for the onus to be on you to end the war that you didn't start. It's like if I broke into your house and started shooting at you and you shot back, and then the police show up and they tell you, you have to stop shooting him for him to stop shooting you. And also, either way, whatever happens, he gets to have your house and all the stuff in it. And you kind of scratch your head, you'd be like, that doesn't sound right. But yeah, so to be honest, I don't really know what it's actually all about. Obviously, somebody who wants to destabilize the West has their hands in pretty deep. I think that's pretty obvious to everyone at this point. As to who it is, I mean, I guess Putin, but I don't really know. It could be the fashion bug for all I know. All of them probably drink human blood together. Alright, well, thanks for tuning in. I'm really sorry to end on that note. I really actually seriously regret that this is where the episode ends. And so I'm going to guide you through a meditation to bring you out of this headspace. Are you ready? Close your eyes. Okay, are your eyes closed? I'll wait for you to close your eyes. I know for some people it takes a while. You ever seen a really old guy who closes his eyes and it takes like upwards of 20 seconds? I'm giving you time. Okay, that should be good. Okay. Your eyes are closed now. Imagine the night sky, the summer breeze blowing through the trees. You feel the breeze on you. It's chilly but refreshing. You hear the buzzing of insects. One of those sounded like Fashion Bug, didn't it? You hear thunder in the distance. The storm from earlier has gone east. You look down at your body. What do you see? Select gender. You feel a buzz in your pocket. It's not one of the insects, it's a different kind of buzz. You pull your phone out, you see a Twitter notification. It's a headline, it says, Trump, quote, "You never see anybody breathe in a helium balloon and talk in a really funny, high-pitched voice anymore. They took it from us. Well, you're going to be seeing it a lot more now." And you simply ponder. And you think, I don't know what the fuck that means. And you put your phone back in your pocket, you look back up at the trees. A grasshopper lands on your face and you swipe it away, and then you get pissed off and you just go back inside. Alrighty, well, if you're one of the unlucky people who didn't want to listen to the podcast but couldn't stop it by any means, this is the end of your prison sentence. I'll see you next week!